Hey everyone, I'm Presley, and welcome to BiteSized History of the Freedom Trail. Today we are doing the 11th stop, which is the site of the Boston Massacre. So, as we talked about, way earlier, one of the first few stops we talked about was the Granary Burying Ground, and 5 of the Boston Massacre victims are buried there, which is really, really cool, and I told you guys I would talk about it in a later episode, and here we are talking about it in a later episode. So the Boston Massacre occurred in 1770, and what the Boston Massacre was basically there was a British soldier, and obviously the revolution is kind of starting, and colonists are heckling him and harassing him and shoving him around. So he calls for reinforcements, and some more soldiers show up, and then some more colonists showed up, and then just more and more people started showing up, and there was this huge crowd, and people were shouting and rioting and shoving people around, and all sorts of stuff was happening there. And eventually, the British soldiers opened fire on the crowd. It killed 3 people immediately, and then the night after, I believe, another person died, and a few weeks later, another person died from the injuries. And those are the 5 people that are buried in the Granary Burying Ground, as well as someone died a couple years later and blamed it on the injuries. I don't know if they actually died from those circumstances though. And the British officer in charge, as well as 8 of his men, were charged with manslaughter and arrested. Yay! And then later, most of them were acquitted. Boo, government. But hey, at least I think 1 or 2 of them remained in jail, which is good. And Paul Revere, who we have talked about so many times, actually made a carving of the event. And what's really interesting is that was a carving, so it could be printed in newspapers, and people didn't have to make another carving of the event if they really wanted to share it. So it got printed in the news, and it spread like wildfire. People all over the colonies, which is very small at the time, but still, knew about this event, and this event is said to be the thing that sparked the American Revolution, because there was tensions and they were high for a really, really long time, but then this happened, and that's when people really started getting in the revolutionary spirit. Although Paul Revere pretty obviously over-dramatized the event, because from actual accounts of the event, no one was given orders to start firing, and what probably happened is they were genuinely fearing for their lives because so many colonists were harassing them, so they started shooting to get out. Or maybe one person shot, one person was in particular danger, so they shot, and then everyone else heard the shot and everyone started firing at each other. But in the print, you can clearly see a commander giving orders for everyone to open fire on the colonists, which, according to most people, didn't actually happen. But Paul Revere was very, very avid about starting the revolution. So he over-dramatized it successfully in his print and started the revolution, maybe even because of a little print that he made, which is super cool. Because just like Hamilton and a lot of people from the revolutionary set in Hamilton, they were all really wanting to start a revolution to prove that they're worth it and that Britain needs to stop harassing them, basically. And Paul Revere was one of those people. So Paul Revere made this print, spread like wildfire, and then from there, the revolution started snowballing. So make sure to comment down below if you know anything else about the Boston Massacre, or if you have been anywhere else on the Freedom Trail, as well as press that subscribe button if you want to see videos on the rest of the stops on the Freedom Trail, as well as if you want to see it when we actually go there, pretty soon from now, actually. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!